Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. We're talking about what's happening with net neutrality. Good news, or this is how it's going to roll out. I don't know if it's good news, but this is how it's going to roll out. This is a group called Free Press, and they're going to sue the FCC to save net neutrality, but it's I'm going to explain to you how it works. A little complicated, all right? So it says, we're taking the FCC to court. We're not alone. Right after Chairman Ajit Pai and his Republican colleagues voted to destroy net neutrality last week, attorneys general from at least 9 states, plus the District of Columbia, indicated their own plans to sue, with New York State Attorney General Eric Schneiderman leading the charge. Are the net neutrality rules already gone? Well, they're still in force, but not for much longer. And as soon as the FCC publishes its so-called Restoring Internet Freedom Order in the Federal Register and gets final approval for its decision, companies like at&t, Comcast, and Verizon will be free to block or discriminate against any content, apps, or online services that they choose. Mm-hmm. That includes any political speech they disagree with, a disturbing prospect given how many basic rights are under attack right now. The soonest that Free Press can file in court is after that order is published, either by the FCC itself or in that Federal Register. So you see so they have to wait for that to happen. They can't just preemptively sue. They have to wait for that to happen, which it hasn't officially happened yet. Once the publication happens, we'll file within 10 days, a time frame set for making a first appearance and starting the process to determine which federal appeals court will hear the case. Wherever and whenever we go, this first filing will just be an initial declaration of our intent to seek a review of the FCC's action in that appeals court. There are likely to be several challenges, or maybe even several dozen, and they could be filed in different courts. Once the challenges all get consolidated into a single case and courtroom, and this procedural phase is over, that's when there will start to be consideration of the merits, or rather the lack thereof, in what the FCC did. So that explains to you how this is going to happen. I didn't realize it was going to happen. I didn't know that I was going to get all into one case. I thought there might be a bunch of different rulings in this. I didn't understand that that's how it's going to work. That's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, it is interesting that's how it unrolls. Like, I didn't know exactly what the timeline options were as far as when can they actually file the suit, and they're telling, well, we have to wait until it's actually registered that, yes, they're doing this, which in some ways that's kind of bad because it's like, well, I wish they could just, like, jump on it, you know? But in other ways, like, at least they're going to do it within 10 days of this thing actually going on the books. That's 10 days isn't a lot of time for them to completely gut the internet once the rules
And they're
are on
already
the book.
raising rates, by the way.
They're already raising rates. That is true.
They're already doing that. They're already getting ready for that shit. You know, we should not. Hey, how about the government provides internet? How about that? How about the government provides internet, just like the government provides water to your house, just like the government provides a road, right, to your house? How about that? Just like the government provides a garbage pickup.
I can't think of a better jobs program right now.
Right.
And I think you were telling me, I forget what it was called. Like, it was like a one dig.
Dig once only, right? Okay. So that's their policy. So that's the policy of to try to get high-speed cable or internet, right? Fiber and stuff like that. So let's say you're the gas company and you have to dig, because most of the cost involved in laying high-speed fiber or anything like that, internet, is the digging up the earth and putting it back down. That's what costs 95% of the money, or 90%, I think was the number I read. Don't quote me on that. But that's where the bulk of the costs come. And so what they've decided, they passed these rules, like Santa Monica did that, where you only dig once, meaning once somebody is there digging, let's say a gas company or even a road company or whoever is digging, they have to install conduit at the same time. They have to either call the internet providers, ask, do you want to lay it? And if they say yes, they lay it. And so they get rid of all that cost of digging and all that stuff. And if they say, no, we don't want to, whoever's digging has to then lay conduit so that someone could come along and give us fiber later. So you don't have to dig it up. Mm-hmm. So all the costs. So that's brilliant. And that's really helped Santa Monica. They've been able to bring high-speed internet to their businesses this way. And it's helped them with business immensely. right?
And that's another one of the many, many, many reasons
Right.
why we need to end this organized duopoly of the internet
Yeah.
in this country. Because, what you guys just said, where it's like they go to the internet service providers and ask, do you want to lay stuff down? Well, sometimes that ISP says no.
No.
Maybe because it's a rural area where they don't think they're going to make enough money. So that's why we still have, access issues in
Right.
a country as rich as this one.
Right.
So, just another one of the list of many, many reasons why we need to completely redo our infrastructure and the way we go about
Yes.
internet.
Well, we need to completely redo the way we elect people to get that done.
That
First,
too.
we need ranked choice voting. We need ranked choice voting. And why aren't the Democrats pushing for ranked choice voting? Meaning, so when if you want to, if we get another horrible choice, like a corporatist warmonger and a corporatist warmonger, I get to vote third party also. I can still vote for the corporatist warmonger as a second thing, but I get to vote my first thing, which may be a progressive or an environmentalist, right? Or a peace candidate, anti-war. So the reason why the Democrats aren't pushing for that is because they want to shame you into voting for them. Their corporatist warmonger candidate. That's what they want. They don't want you to have the ability to vote for Jill Stein or a Democratic socialist or a socialist alternative. They don't want or a workers' party or anything. They don't want you to have that ability. They want to keep you still scared of the boogeyman, and so you have to vote for the corporatist Democrat. And so they're not out there fighting for ranked. That's what could help. Ranked choice voting could help a lot, but they don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, you could vote for the platform you want with none of the guilt. That's
None
what
of the
ranked
bad.
choice voting would do.
So that's why they're not pushing it. So anyway, here's how it's going to happen. Here's how it will roll out. That's nice to know that we have a judicial system. It's not really all that functional, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. The problem is the Democrats don't stand up for anything because they're bought by the same people who want to get rid of net neutrality. For Christ's sake, Barack Obama almost got rid of net neutrality. It was down to the wire. So that's where we're living. That's where we are. That's what's happening. And so now we have to cross our fingers and hope that the courts will stand up for net neutrality, because even if we get a wave of Democrats in there, I don't know what they're going to do. Right now, the country is totally for net neutrality, yet our government's taking it away. Huh? Maybe we don't live in a democracy. Maybe we live in an oligarchy. Maybe your government's already been taken from you. It's funny, like all those guys with their Second Amendment guys, I want to keep my gun in case the government comes for my liberty. They already took it. You live in a surveillance state right now. They already took it, and they're actively legislating against you. But you got your gun. There you go. Wow. Please make sure you're still subscribed to this show. I know you think I'm kidding, but every day people tell us they've been unsubscribed 1, 2, and 3 times. Subscribe, click the bell so you get a notification when we drop these videos. And if you can help support this show, we need it more than ever. Go to Patreon, go to PayPal, buy a T-shirt or a mug, or come to our live show February 16th. There's going to be in Burbank, California, right? February 16th.
Yep.
That's the next
8
one.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. That's a Friday?
Yes.
Ha!
Friday
That's a
night.
Friday night.
Switching for the new year.
We'll see you there.